Guys, I'm actually agreeing with Islam Makhachev for once. That's right. I'm not coming out here talking about, oh, you had a boring fight. All right. That's not what I'm here to do. Because apparently he was talking to some random Russian media members, and basically he's calling out the UFC for their lack of promotion. And I agree with him. All right. He's calling out the UFC for not doing what they normally would have done, which is actually promote fights and promote fighters, certain fighters, to be superstars. All right. Because in my mind, I think Islam Makhachev should be a superstar. All right. I know I called his last performance boring as fuck. Trust me, I would have done that even for my favorite fighters. All right. If JDM came out here, you know, Leon Edwards maxing, sticking and moving, and then just occasionally throwing a 1-2. Trust me, I would have called that fight boring as well, even though I'd have been happy if he beat Makhachev because I would have got my pick right. But that's besides the point, though. Like, Islam Makhachev basically is a superstar, yet the UFC didn't treat him so in his last fight between himself and JDM. You could have promoted this as like, oh, the pound for pound number one fighter on the planet is back. He's going to try and achieve something that Habib couldn't. As Habib's successor, Islam Makhachev will be arguably challenging for GOAT status. You could have even included some of his memes. You know how he like coming out here talking about submitting a kangaroo. Send him 2 3 years. Dagestan never forgets. That's very popular. No, the UFC doesn't do any of those things, right? They just kind of expect Islam Makhachev to go out there and beat JDM. Fair enough. That is what happened, right? But I don't see any sort of promotion for this, even though the fight didn't end up to be all that exciting. And even before though, like the previous pay-per-view, like Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gahn, we could have promoted this in a way that could say, oh, Tom Aspinall's the guy that made John Jones quit. I know Dana White doesn't want to do that because he's still wanking John Jones as we speak, but we could have just said something along the lines of, oh, I retired the GOAT without even fighting him. Cyril Gahn, on the other hand, he was disgraced by John Jones, Nike, but he's like back for vengeance. He's gonna put Paris on the map, all that gobbledygook shit. Right? They don't even do the bare minimum though, and that's what really comes down to with Islam Makhsh's message. Even with this one, Armin Sarukian versus Dan Hooker's fighting this weekend. I don't think anybody cares about this fight because Armin Sarukian, they could have promoted him in a way. It's like, oh, I'm here to redeem myself. I'm gonna finish Dan Hooker. I'm gonna make a statement. Like, it's one thing to say it during media day, but it's like another thing to say it during like promos and stuff like that. And when I mean promos, like, take a look at this. They uploaded this a couple of days ago. Right, Born Brave with Dricus Duplessis. This is honestly a great promotion video. Right, this is talking about how DDP is coming back even after his loss to Hamza Chimaev. He's gonna come back stronger. He's gonna learn from this loss, and he's gonna try to bounce back because he's human. I really love this promo. I don't know if I can play this because copyright reasons. I'm not exactly sure, but that's my point though. They could do more of these for a lot more fighters, right? It doesn't have to be just DDP when he's not even fighting anytime soon. Like, we need to see more of these types of videos, right? If you guys want to check this out, I'm pretty sure you guys have. I'll leave this in the description down below. But my point still stands. Islam Makhachev is actually right for once. The UFC does not try to promote any sort of fight or fighter to become the next big superstar. Islam Makhachev can be the next big superstar, arguably, but the UFC has no interest in doing that. The only reason why people know is because Makhachev's really funny. He has memeable quotes a lot of the time, and he has, for the most part, stellar performances. But yeah, actually agreeing with Islam Makhachev for once. So, Makhachev fans, don't try to kill me in the comments. Alright, that's all I have to say for this video. I'm probably gonna come out with something else in a couple of hours. I just need to think of something. Maybe just ranking a bunch of fan bases. I think that's a video that could be pretty fun to make. But otherwise, though, leave a comment down below if you guys want to see any other videos. All right, make sure to like and subscribe so we can monetize this channel. Otherwise, though, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.